One of the things I like about video is that when I use it, it will either confirm what I see with my eyes or think I see with my eyes, or it will dispute what my eyes think they see. And this is a good example. I commented after you hit these 3 balls, or after 6 balls, that you had a tendency to have a stroke that was short, that was long short, that the follow through was shorter than the backswing. Let's look at your stroke on these 3 putts. I put a red line where the ball is at rest there. That's the end of your backswing. And that's the end of your follow through. Your follow through is clearly longer than your backswing. So on this particular putt, you did not demonstrate what I thought you were doing. I also really like the fact that your eyes have remained down. So there's a lot of things that are very good about this stroke. It's the backswing is shorter than the follow through, and you keep your eyes down. Let's look at the second putt. Once again, your follow through is slightly further than your backswing. Here's the third putt. So on all 3 putts, you have a shorter backswing than follow through. So the video has clearly identified that what my eyes were seeing was an impression, but not an accurate impression. Now that impression did come from observation of a long short stroke. Let me show that to you. Now this here was the last practice stroke that you took before you set up to the ball to hit it. Backswing was to here. Follow through was to here. So in your practice stroke, you did have a little bit of a long short. In fact, you took 2 practice swings before you hit the putt. Both of them had kind of this long short stroke. So my impression was that that's what I was probably going to see on the golf ball, but your golf ball, when you set up to the ball, you did not repeat this practice stroke. Your practice stroke was the red backswing and red follow through, and the real stroke was the red backswing and the blue follow through. But the fact still remains that you were having trouble getting the ball to the hole with this stroke. Now I did not do a face-on view of the stroke that I demonstrated for you. I had a down the line view, and I easily got the ball to the hole with a much shorter backswing. I put that tee in the ground somewhere just outside the foot, and you were going several inches, maybe even 6 inches further back in your backswing than I was going, and but I was easily getting the ball to the hole, and you were struggling to do that. I produced more club head speed at impact than you did, even though I had a shorter backswing. So I had a true accelerating forward stroke. You have you almost let gravity create the club head speed, and you don't add much additional effort on your part to be added to that gravity. And the distance you were putting to was probably an average distance, maybe even slightly average than a lot of putts will face on some of the greens that we'll play in Las Vegas. Some of the greens that we play in Las Vegas are fairly large greens. And if that hole was 10 feet further away, you would really have to have a very large swing. And the bigger the swing, the more chances of error. And so I was trying to have you start experimenting with a reduced backswing. Try to create more club head speed in a more contained, compressed air zone to compact your swing a little bit. So in conclusion, let me repeat what I started with. You have a good putting stroke. You're getting good results with your current putting stroke. You're not 3-putting very often. This particular green was slower than what you're used to, and So the trouble you were having getting the ball to the hole was probably more attributed to that than the fact that your stroke is longer than mine. Now, if I played faster greens, my stroke would have been even smaller than what I demonstrated for you. I still do think it will over time become a better stroke if you could slowly compact it and try to have more contrast between the speed of your backswing and the speed of your forward swing. Have it slow and smooth going back, slow, smooth, and a little bit shorter, but then have a little bit more of a smoother but faster acceleration through the ball. So your backswing from this distance was probably 6 inches further. Short, long, and go through the ball. So I want you to get almost to here with your follow through. Almost don't even worry about the backswing. Short, but you're going to hit through the ball. So you're going just past the shoe and then several inches further past the other shoe. There. That was one of your hardest strokes, and it just barely got past the hole. I want you to hit several of these now, and you're going to 10 shots or so. You're going to adopt every fundamental that would be expected that we would see from a PGA player. You're doing many of them, but we're just going to see what happens if we do all of them. So we're just going to have absolute carbon copy of what any of the pros do. We're just going to copy them all. One of the things that you would see them all doing for this shot is their feet would be literally almost this close together. Okay? They wouldn't have this gap. They would be extremely close together. And you're choking out. I saw that. That was good. Standard shot is what we're doing. Now, their short game is probably, I think it's one of the hardest parts of golf is the short game. If I'm 150 yards away, I don't have to learn 50 swings. 2 or 3, and that's it. You have to learn 50 ways to hit this shot on the green when you're this off the green. You've got to learn how to do different techniques. Do I want to hit high or low? Do I want to go? Do I want to expose the bounce? Do I want to have it come in with a leading edge? Do I want to have it on my front foot, my back foot? But you have to make all of these decisions based on how far the edge of the green is, how far the flag is from the edge of the green. You have to all these complex. You have to learn 1,000 shots. This is a standard shot. You're going to choke down, feet very close together. I want you to put a little bit more weight on your left foot. As you step away, it will tend to pull your low point back. When your feet are together, it's easier to maintain your weight on your left foot. And when I come back, I could start with my weight on my left foot, but if I've got any tendency to rock to my right foot, this facilitates that rock. I can't rock, and that foot's there, I'll fall down. So it forces you to not.
And when I rock, my blade does not come back to home.
Right. The key is I want to hit these first few with a real exaggeration of almost like you're leaning against the wall on the left side, and you just stay there. Much lower. You just lean against that wall and stay on that wall. Good. Even though that's the sound of it. The main thing we're working on is getting comfortable with hands forward, weight and stand. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the right line. That just kind of feeds and dies down to the left. Let's say those 3 balls is where you need to stop it. And you're right there. That actually becomes a harder shot, even though the flag is closer to you. Exactly right. And you can't fly to the green.
What I'm doing, same thing with putting green. Taking the ball, swing back less.
Yes, because you don't want to decelerate here either. Steve Stricker has had a big influence on the tour in terms of short game. A lot of people are starting to do what he's been doing for years. And I've started and I said, man, there's a lot of value in that method. What Steve Stricker does, you were kind of here with it. You didn't choke down quite a lot, and you also tended to have your hands reach a little bit more. You're more like this. Steve Stricker, it's almost as if you have the heel of the club more on the ground than the toe of the club. And what Steve Stricker does is he gets his handle up high, standing very close to it. So it becomes almost, so this shaft is almost in line with his arms. He doesn't have a severe angle here. And he is almost doing a putting stroke type of technique. But just want you to let me just kind of see that for a little bit.
Oh, I thought the heel was down the toe. So
No, I want the toe down, heel up.
Am I hitting in the center?
More like that. You're still hitting in the center of the club. But sometimes with full swings, we will correctly have the toe up slightly because of the centrifugal force of a downswing for a full swing. We'll take that angle away and we'll stretch that out and it'll now be flush. But with these, we don't have enough centrifugal force in the swing to cause that to happen, so we end up coming in on the heel. So we're going to preset it almost very flush. I just want you to don't worry about too much of the target. I just want you to kind of feel. It also gives you a much easier way to swing down the line because of the vertical check. Of course, Steve had that dead arm type of chipping technique. Didn't have a lot of risk. And this really facilitates that. But it's something you can just kind of play around with. Sure. And anything that I introduce, I never want to introduce it in a manner that you think, I want it to replace what you're doing. I want it to be added to what you're doing. So you have other options. We're going to have a lot more speed on this one. Okay. You want to swing your chest. These are chest swings. So I want you to, when your elbows are in here and your triceps are hugging your side, keep that connected. When you're here, they're still right on your chest, just like they started. So do a couple rehearsals. Feel the chest swing to the target. Yeah, that's what I want. Yes, chest swing. That's the key for the shot. Oh, beautiful. That takes a lot of you pick this up immediately. It's easy. Yeah, the geometry there's not a lot of chaos going on down there. Very nice. This will pay off more than anything we've worked on, I bet today. To have a fairly wide stance, we want to have a low rear, and we definitely want to have a wide open face. Now, a wide open face, I don't get my normal grip and simply twist my hands. I get the club twisted and then grip it. And when I mean wide open, I mean literally almost facing the sky. So we're not just talking about a little bit. I want you to feel like you're setting this bounce, this part of your club. If you look at it this way, you're setting this on the sand. There you go. That is the part of the club we want to go through the sand.
slide under it. You're not digging with the leading edge, you are sliding like a knife. So you're trying to throw the bounce, that bulge, into the sand. So to start with, you basically get low and finish high, and you're trying to splash the sand on the grass. The club, the metal of the club never touches the ball. Okay? Okay? And again, you want to stay on that left side. Don't want to rock to that back foot. And you can have a little more wrist hinge. Just a little more wrist hinge. And your only thing I want to see you do now is finish high with, and you're splashing the sand on the grass. Good. That's all I want right now. Just keep repeating that until some memory starts taking place. Finish high, splash the sand. Finish high every time. Right now we're trying to do something every time, and that's high hands. High hands. You're going to have a variety of results. I just don't want a variety of hands. I want the hands to finish high every swing. Once your brain can do that every time, then we'll teach the brain to do something else every time. Add it to that. High hands. Okay, now we're going to add something. Right now I'm seeing a fairly delayed wrist hinge. I want you to cock the wrist pretty quickly and then finish high hands. Yeah, more of a chop. Chop high. Stay on that left. That's a different sound. Yep. Wrist in the backswing, high hands on the finish. Yes. Just keep working on that. Quick wrist, high hands. Ooh, I love that one. That's the sound I want. When you cock the wrist, your attack angle becomes much steeper, and it makes it harder to hit behind the ball. When you're coming in shallow and flat with no wrist, you can come in 8 inches behind the golf ball. As long as you have those high hands, you can get away with that bad hit. It still comes out. Doesn't get stuck on you. And a little bit more wrist cock. Fill the other little pieces around.